The most important thing is that perpetrators change. Perpetrators can be victims today. The victims sometimes turn into perpetrators. And it's that cycle that we need to be able to cut to the heart, because if the victim has not got justice and feels that the person has been angered over the commission of crimes against them and that no one has been punished, and they take up their response and say that we're also going to punish them, then you are creating a vicious cycle of atrocities.
There is this need, there is this importance of understanding the other side. But at the same time, understanding doesn't mean lack of justice or accountability. We understand them. I would never be okay or advocate or justify killings or violence or the use of torture or anything, even against people who have committed the worst crimes. But I do believe in accountability. We forgive, but we do not forget. I think accountability is key.
Perpetrators of mass atrocities and violence are normally secluded from society and are seen as people who perhaps are different from us. We can actually learn how to prevent conflict if we understood what drives them into conflict. If we understood the psychology, the mental frame, and the things that make them do what they do, what drives them into conflict, and what keeps them into conflict.
Many people, especially, on the lower levels, the officers, the guards, and these are people that I had to deal with when I was in prison and so on, they convince themselves that they are slaves to the orders that they receive. And this is a very problematic mentality on many different levels, right? Because on one level, it's the fact that they actually see themselves as slaves to orders, and the fact that they feel like they don't have any personal will, but it also they absolve themselves from the responsibility of the actions they take.
There are perpetrators you simply can say, well, those are bad men. But there are others who were developing themselves as part of a political movement that comes in a situation where it becomes, they think, attractive to use violence. And then they become perpetrators, while they started with a good idea in their own way of thinking.
So the other aspect of it is also greed and corruption. When it comes to the people who are higher up in charge, what it comes down to is absolute political and economic control. That's what they want.
So the question is, how can we have these people also trialed or have them appearing as having given orders? That's a difficulty. Don't forget, perpetrators at the end of the day are human beings like you and me. And they will one day either go back to the community after having gone through jail, for example. And how do you receive them in the community? There also you will need a process where they can somehow depose their story of wrongdoings and be able to acknowledge, to take responsibility in a way or another, and then come back with a security for the people and for themselves that they will not go back to violence anymore.
There is this narrative that somebody's perpetrator is somebody's liberator, freedom fight. And I think before we even ask ourselves, can we live with a perpetrator, we should know what is wrong. Where did the spirit of it's not all right, where did it go?